Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my very natural looking nose contour. So a couple of weeks ago, I shared this before and after transformation on my Snapchat and the snap fam went cray. I got so many requests to show you guys how I do my nose contour. And so here we are today responding to your requests. So something I really want you guys to know is that whenever I do any kind of contour, it's always going to be something very natural looking. I really love my skin to look like skin. I love to glow. I just love to look like a goddess. I'm not into that very chiseled, hard contour. So if you're feeling me and you want to know how I took my nose from looking like this to this, keep watching. So before we get into the video, let's quickly talk product. So when I do my nose contour and create this shape, I do not like to use a cream-based product. I don't feel like it works well for the texture of the skin on my nose, so I always use a powder-based product. So I've used this one in my previous video. It's from Factorie. Factorie as in the one that's like part of the Cotton On group. And it's their makeup make out contour kit. It looks like this, and I always use this middle color over here. Now it's super important to note, if you're going to contour your nose using a powder based product, not to do it with a bronzer. The reason being, bronzers have a reddish warmer undertone, which is amazing for your cheeks and to bring warmth to your face, but we're not trying to bring warmth to your nose. We're trying to bring dimension to your nose, and to bring dimension we really need the contour to mimic the natural colors of shadows on our face. So generally the shadows on our faces are a beigey grayish brown, which is precisely why I go in with this shade. Now when I highlight down the center of my nose, I always use a cream-based highlighter instead of a powder. So the reason I do this is because whenever I contour anywhere on my face, I really love to use a combination of creams and powders. I feel like when you do that and then you use a setting and blending spray, it makes everything just melt together really beautifully, and I just think it looks a lot more expensive. Lastly, just before we get to the demo, I promise we're going to get to that very quickly, I wanted to show you some of the tools I use or what you can use to create the contour. So I'm going to apply my concealer with just a normal flat foundation brush. This is from Swiitch Beauty's Dolce Rose collection. But what has become my absolute ride or die nose contour brush is not one that you can actually buy, but it comes with the Dior Diorblush highlighter. I don't use this for the highlighter, but I use it for my nose. It's super fluffy, and just the flat shape really does an amazing job for that contour. However, I have got other brush suggestions for you that also work super well, and I'm going to share that with you quickly. So firstly, we've got this G31 contour stick, also from Swiitch Beauty, and it's got a very similar texture. The bristles are just a little bit more synthetic feeling than my Dior one, and it's a bit wider. Super good price too. I will link it down below. Then we have these two fluffy eyeshadow brushes, which also do an amazing job. This one is from Boutique, which I got at Edgar's like years ago when I just started doing makeup artistry. So I used to dip the tip of this into my powder, and then just using that fine edge, I would create my contour. And then I would clean it off at the back of my hand, and then taking this angle, I would sweep it down. So this is a really great one, and it was super cheap as well. Then lastly, my super OG eyeshadow, concealer, everything brush from MAC. It's their 224 brush. So with a brush like this, I would use circular motions and then go up and down the side of my nose, and I wouldn't really go this way because the tip is already kind of wide, so it is going to blend it this way for you already. Okay, but enough about the tools and the products and all that. Let's get straight to the demo and start snatching these sniffers. Okay, so to start things off, I'm going to begin with my concealing routine, and it starts from under my eyes already. I usually use a corrector, but for the purpose of this video, I didn't actually use any corrector under my eyes today. So I'm going to go in with my NC20 Studio Finish Concealer from MAC and my Swiitch Beauty Foundation brush. And I'm going to put that from the middle of my forehead all the way down the center of my nose. And then I'm going to do the side of my nose. As you can see on both sides of my nose, I've got a bit of a raised bridge over here. And I really want to make that look as if it is one with this area over here. And I want this part to really look slim because my nose is actually an okay size. The issue is this bridge over here. I'm going to pop that over here. I'm going to just take it up over there as well. So whenever you apply your concealer over here, you're going to do it sort of in a triangle motion. So you can already see here where I haven't applied any product. That's where we're going to do our contour, and it really acts as a guideline already. I think I just need a little bit more over here. Then I'm going to go back in with my wet beauty blender, and I'm just going to push that into my skin. So wherever I've applied product now, that's where we're blending. Then using my wet beauty blender again, I'm going to take the sponge and dip it into my loose finishing powder, and I'm going to set my under eye area and the center of my nose and the sides of my nose immediately. Next, I'm going to go in with this Make Up Make Out contour kit. I'm going to take my little Dior brush and I'm going to go in with this cooler color over here. I'm going to get it nice and excited. And then I'm going to apply the product in that area where I didn't apply the other product, obviously. As I said, it's going to be a guideline for you. Just doing the sides of the tip of my nose over here so that it all makes sense. Okay, so as you can see, I've now got my outline of my nose contour. Now, of course, this is too harsh. It might not even look that harsh on camera right now, but in person, it's definitely way too harsh. So I'm just going to blend this up and down. All I really need to do is up and down sweeping motions like this. Okay, and then taking the tip of my wet beauty blender again, I'm just going to push along that line once more to really just seal the deal of that contour and make it look as natural and unforced as possible. Next, I'm going to take my Dior Diorblush contour stick, and using the highlight side, which is an actual highlighter, it's not like the lighter foundation or anything. I'm just going to use my finger, and from where my nose bridge begins at the center point of my eye, I'm just going to dab this all the way down to the tip of my nose. And it's really as simple as that. So that's it for me for today, guys. I hope that you found this video useful, and I hope that you learned something. As always, if you have any suggestions, please don't hesitate to pop them into the comment box below, and I'll see what I can do for you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, show me some love. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.